Season 3 of Jesse Ventura's conspiracy theory television show kicked off with the premiere episode focusing on the reptilian elite conspiracy theory, of course featuring David Icke, the most well-known and visible proponent of this theory, which I must admit on the surface sounds pretty interesting. And I know a lot of people are going to be surprised to hear me say that, but stick with me here and we'll sift through some of the facts and the fiction. I'll tell you about what happened in the episode, and I'll tell you about what happened with Jesse Ventura's conclusion. Or if you've seen the show, I'll just give you my take on it and my take on the reptilian conspiracy theory, which goes like this. Some people believe that the Illuminati, or the ruling elite, even throughout history and today, consist of an alien race of extraterrestrials, and that is why they're so powerful. And or sometimes they believe that it consists of a hybrid race, that these alien beings long time ago, thousands of years ago, bred with human beings, and their offspring became the first kings and queens and pharaohs and rulers. And so that is where some people believe the idea of this divine blood or this divine right to rule comes from, and why some people believe that the first kings, queens, and pharaohs were so powerful, and why the Illuminati is so powerful today. David Icke, of course, a very well-known author from Britain, is the biggest proponent of this. And a lot of these people will grasp onto one phrase in the Bible, in the book of Genesis, where some interpretations read that supernatural beings came to earth, bred with human beings, and created their offspring. Okay? Other interpretations claim that they were not supernatural beings, but instead that they were just kings and queens, and that they bred with other people, etc., etc. Okay, so you combine that with a lot of this ancient symbolism of weird-looking, kind of alien-looking creatures and reptilian dragon-looking type of things. And so a lot of people have latched on to this theory because, I mean, let's face it, life is a strange mystery. I mean, the present, the past, the future, it's a very weird puzzle that we're in. And so a lot of people are just looking for answers, trying to find out who we are, where we came from. Okay, the questions people have been asking for thousands and thousands of years. So I understand the interest in this theory. But the more that I have looked at it, the more BS, just half-truths, misinterpretations I have found, particularly with David Icke's work, I'll get into later. Especially a lot of these people call these things the Anunnaki, or they were bred, the Anunnaki came to Earth and bred with humans, or the Anunnaki, this ancient alien race, were the first gods on Earth, which may actually be true, that there were aliens, ancient beings, demons, whatever, came to the Earth thousands of years ago. I wouldn't discount that. But there's been so many alleged photographs of archaeological digs of these giant skeletons, and you can go and search for them on YouTube, and it's incredible. I mean, like 80–90% of the comments and the ratings, the thumbs up on the videos, believe that these photos are real Anunnaki archaeological digs and skeletons, when every single one of them is a hoax. I guess a lot of people have never heard of Photoshop before. Okay? So I must admit, it's an interesting theory. But most of David Icke's, quote, evidence for this comes from anonymous people, he never even names, who claim that they have, quote, seen people in positions of power shapeshift or change from a human into a reptile briefly, and then shapeshift back into their reptile. So David Icke just thinks that because a bunch of people have emailed him over the years saying that they've seen these people in positions of power shapeshift, that's evidence. No, it's really a sign of mental illness. Go and Google the Fergoli delusion. A lot of people, not a lot of people, some people have this mental disorder where their brain can literally not identify people's faces. And so people's faces who look fairly similar, they can't tell the difference. And if you've ever been around anybody at a high school or a college party when they were on LSD or mushrooms, you'll know that sometimes they see things and they see people's faces looking like clowns and demons and whatnot. Believe me, I've hung out with plenty of people when they were tripping on LSD and mushrooms back in the day to witness firsthand what happens to these people and what they think that they see, what they believe, okay? And that it just goes to show the power of the human mind. Of course, under the influence of hallucinogenic drugs, people on LSD, ayahuasca, mushrooms, their minds is just so, it's short-circuiting, and they see people, see things, they get so delusional. But people that aren't under the influence of psychedelic drugs can also have, some sort of a mental lapse, call it a brain fart or whatever, where they see people or they believe that they see people shapeshift. If you've ever been to a stage hypnotist, you know that the hypnotist can hypnotize people into actually believing that they are seeing things, hearing things, petting dogs. The dog's not there. The dog is not on the stage. But you probably have all seen a stage hypnotist hypnotize people into believing that there was a dog there, that they were petting them and seeing them, hearing them, and feeling the dog. That's how powerful the human mind is. So I think that probably every one of these cases of these people that have contacted David Icke over the years who claim to have seen people in positions of power shapeshift are just delusional, okay? I mean, David Icke believes that the earth is hollow and that ancient civilizations still live under the earth. Advanced ancient yeah, that's what he says in his book, The Biggest Secret. He says there's no doubt in his mind. I don't know the page numbers here in front of me. I did a previous video on it a while ago. There's no doubt in his mind that ancient civilizations that are advanced live in the hollow earth. Okay? Where else have I heard that? Oh yes, Journey to the Center of the Earth by Jules Verne, who I think wrote that in the early 1900s. Jules Verne, also the author of 2000 Leagues Under the Sea. And I think he did 2001 A Space Odyssey as well. Okay, science fiction. David Icke also believes that the moon is a hollowed out space station of some kind. I believe that David Icke's head might be hollow. And a lot of people get really mad when I start attacking other people in the movement. No, I'm sorry, it's not attacking them. You see, I'm giving them a peer review. I'm analyzing their work. You see, in scientific communities, in other communities, when somebody publishes a paper, other professionals in that industry take a look at what they find, their data, their claims, their analysis, and then other people give their analysis of somebody else's work and their findings as we try to come to find the truth, find verifiable evidence. Other people verify or attempt and repeat others' experiments to try to come up with new findings and see if they can repeat the same findings, as we're all trying to find the truth. I mean, most people. There are some or a lot of conspiracy con men out there that just are spewing these half-truths, conspiratainment, because it is fascinating. It's a very realistic form of entertainment because there are enough bits and pieces of truth in it to make it seem very believable, okay? Now, I'm not even saying that the Illuminati aren't working with demons or working with aliens. They very well could be. That certainly is a possibility. So I'm not saying that that is not possible or that it's not happening, okay? But to say that they are reptilians, and David Icke claims that they have to drink human blood to maintain their reptilian form, is pretty ridiculous. And he likes to back off from that a lot because I think since maybe he's sobered up a little bit, came down from his ayahuasca trip, he maybe realizes how that's a little bit crazy, and it does kind of hurt the movement. It hurts your other verifiable work. So I can see people pondering these things, theorizing, looking at these pieces of supposed evidence, but in the show, the season premiere of Conspiracy Theory, they showed a woman who claimed to be a reptilian and said that she has shapeshifted because her girlfriend just, happened to look over at her one night in the bed and just saw she was a reptilian form, man. Yeah, it's just really believable there. I mean, here in the 21st century, we don't have any, really photographic evidence, any video evidence of any of this. And in the show, They had correspondents Sean Stone, Oliver Stone's son, and Ty Ventura, Jesse Ventura's son, go out and investigate some of these claims. And some guy starts showing them video clips on the internet of President Obama, Queen Elizabeth, okay, all these prominent elitists, and then claiming that their eyes are shape-shifting and that they have reptilian eyes, okay? It's a little something called Photoshop or After Effects. And even me, I have these, so you can see the lights, the shadow. A lot of people think that there's something wrong with my eyes or make claims that I'm stoned in my videos because my eyes look a little shiny. It's because the lights are right here, right behind the camera. That's what you need to do to make a quality YouTube videos. You need lights. You need quality studio lights. So they're shining into my eyes, making it look like slits. And so that's where some of these claims come from. But most of them are just people. I mean, I've seen videos on YouTube where somebody records somebody on TV and it just pixelates. You know what that is, where the transmission has a little error, a little data processing problem, and pixelates a little bit. And so they say, see, look at that. They just shape-shifted, okay? No, I mean, it's ridiculous. It's one thing to think that there are demons or aliens, interdimensional, extraterrestrial beings, whatever, here on Earth somewhere. If they even are, they would probably be hidden away somewhere. They probably wouldn't waste their time hanging out in the White House and doing paperwork and doing all the other boring things, sitting in meetings, all the other things that the presidents do. I would think that these advanced extraterrestrial demons or, you know, godlike beings probably have something better to do. Okay. Let me just think. Can't believe I'm even having to talk about this. In the episode, they had some lunatic woman that I think was friends with Sean Stone go around to an Air Force base, a military base, and claim that she could sense the reptilians. Yeah, she just had the reptilian sense, man. And she looked like she was fake crying, saying, no, they're saying I can't come here. They're saying go away. Just absolutely ridiculous. So thankfully, at the end of the episode, Jesse Ventura sits down with David Icke and asks him some serious questions. And David Icke got so defensive that he really couldn't answer any of Jesse's questions. He said it would take a 9-hour lecture to get Jesse to understand. So David Icke pulled the plug on the interview, stood up and walked out, and then when he was in the other room, said that Jesse Ventura can go F himself. And at the very end, Jesse Ventura basically ripped David Icke and ripped the entire reptilian conspiracy theory and debunked it out there. So very proud of Jesse. At first when I saw the episode and I saw the previews, I was a little disappointed. I thought that the show was going down the wrong course. Although, I mean, it is an interesting enough idea where it should be investigated, okay? Because there is a bunch of weird stuff out there that is true, that is verifiable. But like I said, I've looked into this. People shape-shifting, claiming they saw people shape-shift, that's not evidence, okay? The videos are all fake. The photos of the supposed Anunnaki or the offspring of the Nephilim and whatever, they're all hoaxes. David Icke even said that at one time he met with a man face-to-face who David said worked for the CIA, who had this little device implanted in his chest, that the CIA installed this weird thing in his chest, and that he had to have some liquid injected in there every few days so that he couldn't escape and not return to work. Otherwise, he would die. He would die if he didn't get the stuff injected into this weird thing in his chest. Did David Icke take a picture of this thing? No. Did he take video of it? No. And even if he did, I'm sure that it was fake, because it'd just be really difficult to just super glue some weird thing on your chest, right? And the CIA or any advanced top secret military base would not be so stupid to implant some huge device or even a small device into someone's chest where they would need to get this liquid injected every few days or they would die, as a way to sort of keep them enslaved and keep them coming back to work and prevent them from leaving their job. Because if that person got into a car accident on the way to work and some paramedics came and, started to give CPR, the paramedics would certainly find this strange device. It's not going to be on the guy's medical chart. They're never ever seen anything like it before. What's the guy going to do when he's out by the pool on vacation or at, Disney World at the pool at the motel with his family? The guy's got his shirt off in front of his wife and kids, and I'm sure the wife probably is going to wonder. I'm sure certainly this guy's wife would see this device, and just wonder what this is. It just doesn't make any sense. And for David Icke to have believed this guy, to not take any pictures, is just ridiculous. And like I said, David Icke believes in the hollow earth. I'm not talking, just caverns and weird, caves and stuff. He says that the center of the earth is hollow, and that the moon is hollow, and that there are advanced civilizations living inside the earth. Okay? Gee, I wonder why people call him a conspiracy theorist. I wonder why people call David Icke a disinformation artist, okay, which I don't think he is. I think that he's just a little mentally ill, and I don't say that as an insult. Some of David Icke's stuff is interesting, and he gets a lot of stuff right, but man, he just jumps the shark when it comes to the reptilian stuff. I should have put together a better presentation, put some video clips. So I just wanted to give my quick reaction to the premiere of Conspiracy Theory, which was quite hilarious. And someone may be making an appearance in a future episode. So stay tuned for that. I'm sure that the episode will be replaying and probably on YouTube if you want to see it. Trying to think if there was any other points that I wanted to make. That's pretty much it. I covered David Icke in the Illuminati Facts and Fiction, but as far as I have seen, it is only theories. There's really no evidence. Oh, and for people to say, you can't prove that it's not true, you can't prove that he's not right. Well, okay, listen. It's called, I forget the technical term for it. When somebody makes a claim, the burden of proof is on them, okay? Because you can't prove something. It's harder to prove something is not true when you can't touch it. It's like I could say for you to prove to me that I didn't eat at In-N-Out Burger last night. You can't prove that I did not. You can't prove that I did, okay? But you can't prove that I didn't. And so you start going down this road of, well, you can't prove that it's not true. You can't prove that it could be true. That's not presenting evidence. See, the burden of proof is on the person making the claims. And in the reptilian theory, unfortunately, we just have a lot of claims and theories. But then again, maybe I just am secretly one of them from the planet, from the Draco galaxy. And I've been sent here to Earth to pose as a human being, to lead you on and to make you think that the reptilian elite ruling class, just simply don't exist.